That's right, everybody. This will probably be the last time we unbox Funko Pops like this on the channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, recently Funko has announced that Droppp is going to be going away, and that's all of their digital packs, which then turn into physical figures. If you're wondering why these are going away, I would probably guess it's because they've just started doing their limited edition figures. That's where you can find rare pops just directly on Funko.com, and they sell out within minutes, where these here weren't selling out that quickly. They would put up a certain amount of packs every time they did a drop, and you know, it would maybe take 2 hours, or even they'd be up for the whole day and then just go away. See, the problem is with them, if they didn't sell out, they wouldn't just like put them on sale or something. They would have to get rid of them completely, losing the money. And so, when it comes to something like this, if they're selling out of the limited edition figures within 2 seconds on the website, it just makes more sense to continue to do that and pour more into it, so I get it. But to not have these drop figures anymore, I think is gonna be kind of sad, because like I said, I loved making the videos. I've probably done over a dozen of them over the years. And I guess, let's check out the first figure that we've got here, which is going to be, let me see here, oh, right. It is the Lich as Billy, so it's the entire new Adventure Time set we've got today. I'm a huge fan of Adventure Time, and I also know that there's a new season of Fiona and Cake coming soon. And what's also neat about these ones here is it's actually the first time they'd ever done it where the number correlates to exactly how many figures were actually created. What they did before this was they would take the max amount of figures that could be claimed, and I believe this one here would have been 1,800. But like I was talking about earlier, sometimes not all of the packs would sell, which means not every one of the figures would be pulled. And so this one here, only 1,311 are actually out there. So you see what I mean. We have a good amount of them that just didn't release. But when it comes to like something over on limited edition, there would be 5,000 of them that could sell out, I don't know, within like 10 minutes. But anyways, now diving into the Lich, I think this is such an interesting figure. And they did a couple Lich figures years and years ago, and they're pretty expensive. So to now have this Lich as Billy, where he's got the horn, the face where it's like half and half, it is so cool. And also, they don't normally put mouths on pops, but I love that they included it on this one because he is kind of like a skull. It makes the most sense. Now hold on, everybody, before we continue with the unboxing, I want to let you know about my brand new YouTube channel. It's called Top Pops Cards, and it's where I'm going to be opening up random collectible cards that I enjoy. Woo! Look at this one here! I'm talking Topps, Pokemon, Magic, Sports, you name it, I'll probably be cracking it open. It's honestly just because I open them up all the time anyway, so I figured why not do it with you guys? And I know that a lot of people comment on my videos, why don't you open up more cards? So this is the way to do it. Ooh, Garbage Pail Kids, Lorcana, even Funko has their own cards with Upper Deck. Maybe we'll do some of those in the future. So if you are interested, the very first video on the channel is up right now, so I definitely recommend you going over there, checking it out after watching this video, hitting subscribe, because I really want this channel to do well. I'm excited about it. And now, next up, we have this big box here, which should have the 3 other figures that I was able to pull. And so, let me see here. We've got, who's next up? I actually can't tell yet. Oh, this is a good one. You know what? I'm gonna save this one till last. Let's do this one next. Alrighty, the one that we've got here is so fun. It's actually the first time we've ever got this character as a pop, and that's why I think I love it so much. We have, oh, it's great, Tree Trunks. And what I think is pretty cool about this one too is that, again, it's got that number. It's 1,287. Oh, and actually I was wrong about the 1,800 for these ones. It was actually 1,900. If you take a look at the back, they show what card you had to pull to get it, and in the corner it's got that full number, and that was, yeah, an extra 100. So for there to only be 1,287 out there, again, one of those things with the limited edition, you can see they're not completely selling out, but I still love these figures, and I especially love how Tree Trunks looks as a pop, because the whole body is just kind of like her head. I'm also loving the little picnic basket on top. I think Funko just did such a great job, and I think that's the thing that's a little too bad about them. With all of these drop figures, they really put everything into them, and so that's probably why they're stopping. They were putting so much work into them, and then we weren't even buying all of it. It probably has to do with people just not really understanding how the packs work. They hear like NFTs, and you get turned off right away. And I know that there are some other toy companies that do the NFT stuff. I don't know if they still do it, but I remember remember for the longest time, Mattel was doing like Hot Wheels Garage. It was very similar. You would open up packs and then you might be able to get a physical Hot Wheels car inside. I never opened them up, but I was really intrigued by them and almost did a few times. So I don't know. I know it's a thing, but I feel like it's a few years ago now. We needed to move on from it just because of, you know, I don't really see NFTs anywhere besides, well, these pops, and now even these are gone. Either way, though, we now have Susan Strong, another 1900 piece one, and it's one of those figures that I love because her head is kind of like regular size compared to like a normal pop, and this one was $12.99 out of 1900. So again, a pretty low number comparatively to the amount that were created, and again, I am loving this one. I love her little cat hat. Definitely reminds me of Finn, you know, because of course Finn wears that little white hat. Either way, though, so cool, and I am a big fan of those pops with the opposite heads, and I think now with me having Susan in person, I've got all of them again. There was that one Freddy as well as a couple of them from Beetlejuice, and I'm sure there's some others too, but either way, I'm up to date from what I can think of. Alrighty, now let me move these off to the side and we'll get into the next figure that I've got, because this is the one that I wanted to save for you, and then I also have a couple limited edition ones that arrived too, so we can kind of compare them. But before we do that, we of course have to take a look at this here, which I am probably the most excited about out of all of them, just because it looks so amazing. Ooh, okay, this is kind of interesting. I had noticed on the outside of the box there was a bit of a ding, and it seems like it hit the protector, but the pop is completely fine. And that's not a Droppp or Funko thing, it's just, you know, shipping. It happens sometimes. But yeah, that's why when I was getting these ones, I would always pay the extra bit for the protector, because they wouldn't include it normally, but for like a few bucks extra, you could get one, and yeah, definitely worth it. I'm actually gonna get it out of here, because I'm a little afraid I'm gonna, like, you know, get like a piece of broken something to hit the box. I'll have to swap it over to a new one, but either way, this thing is so great. So the one that we have here is Freddy and Proto as Finn and Jake. Definitely my favorite from the set. And I'm taking a look on the back here. 2,400 of them were out there. How many got claimed? Wow, 1271. So, oof, a lot less. And so, yeah, this is all showing us why limited edition is probably happening instead. But seriously, though, this is another amazing figure. I love that they also gave the Freddy as Finn the sword, because I'm pretty sure that was the exclusive version when it came to the regular pop, and it's a super hard one to get. And I believe this is the second time we've got Proto dressed up as a licensed character. The first one would be Scooby-Doo, and now we have this Jake here. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, so I think that's probably it, but there might be one more. I don't know. I think it's just the two. And anyways, though, such a great figure. I am glad that I was able to add this to the collection. And now, let me move these guys over, and I want to get into those limited edition ones that I've got, because one of them is actually from over at New York Comic Con, and then the other one just arrived in the mail like today. And I think we'll probably start with this one here, because you may have seen it a little bit. I talked about it over at New York Comic Con when I did like the booth tour and stuff, but I never really showed it close up. The one that we have here though is Orko, and I am such a big fan of Masters of the Universe, and when I saw that this one was coming out, I knew I had to pick it up. And if you're wondering about the limited edition on this, you can see on the front it is 3,000 pieces. It doesn't have that normal limited edition sticker that would tell you like the different rarities. It'll have it with the other one that I talk about. It's because this one's a con one, so it's got a few things going on. Like, of course, that New York Comic Con sticker, as well as it does have that like official Funko one though, and then below that it still tells you the piece count, but yeah, it just doesn't say like limited edition right on the front. It's because it's the con one. But anyways though, this version of Orko is so cool. It's kind of like that facet figure where it looks like it's, you know, a diamond or some sort of gem cut, and then it also has that iridescent purple all over. It really is nice, and I'm so glad that I was able to pick this one up. And also on the backside there, I think it's really funny that they included an image of Orko. Look at him. And now, getting into this one here, we've got that other figure that I just got. Oh, yeah. You'll be able to see what the limited edition is for this one here, because of course it does have that sticker, but it's the brand new Billy the Puppet, and it looks like he's like inside of a TV. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but it does have those like lines going all the way across, very similar to like on the back here, and I think that's such an interesting thing for Funko to do. It's pretty unique. Oh, and I guess, yeah, getting back to that sticker there, you can see it again. So this one here is limited to 9,500 pieces, and then it does say Supreme on there, which is like the easiest one to get. Yeah, the highest I think I've ever seen is 9,500. I don't think the limited edition ones go above that. And with this one here, the difference is, of course, that he has the green shoes, as well as it being kind of like, I guess maybe it's more of like the color that he would look like inside of the TV, and so maybe they're not supposed to be green, they're supposed to be kind of like a sepia color. Either way though, it's such a cool figure, and also another thing that people thought was a little bit odd when they announced limited edition was that the names for the rarities on the stickers were the same as the Droppp ones. So what I'm saying is there are different rarities for the cards when you open them. There was Epic, there was Common, Legendary, Grail, and all of those were also the names for the different rarities for these guys here. And so I'm guessing Funko knew exactly what was going to be happening as soon as they announced limited edition, because why would they double up? It just doesn't make sense. And well, anyways, everybody, there we go. That is all of the figures that I have for you today. And I do want to hear from you guys. Do you like the limited edition more than you liked the Droppp NFT packs? Because for me, I think it's a little bit of a toss-up. I love making the videos, but then I also know it's so much easier just to pick up a limited edition figure, and then you can get limited edition in stores when before you kind of had to have like a word of mouth, and it might have been a little bit harder to really scale the packs for Funko. Either way though, I think they both have really great qualities, and it is sad to see Droppp going away, but it seems like they're doing some pretty cool stuff with limited edition. And again, everyone, if you guys want to check out my brand new cards channel, I will have it linked in the description down below, because like I said, there is a video out right now that you can go watch. It's something that I'm super excited about, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great one, and I'll see you tomorrow!